I started my flight training through the University of South Australia. I did a Bachelor of Aviation degree concurrently with flight training, and I graduated with a commercial pilot licence. And yeah, it was probably the last sort of year at uni that I started really considering the military as an option. So after uni, I went and did all the tests and I passed everything, which was really exciting. I got an offer for entry into the Air Force and told I was medically unfit on the same day. So the two departments hadn't talked to each other, and I'd actually been given an offer without actually having a medical clearance. So yeah, I was pretty devastated. My sister lives in the UK, and I checked the time and I saw that she'd probably just woken up, so I called her and had a cry on the phone to her, and yeah, like it was tough.
Women do it tough in male-dominated industries. You know, it starts from very junior roles, but it continues up to senior roles. You know, there's no doubt that in my time in senior roles in the aviation industry, you know, I've felt sense of gender bias. Men in senior roles in industry aren't used to females being part of the conversation, part of the decisions that are being made, you know, part of the opportunities that are being offered for people, probably, and that does need to shift. The more we're able to bring them into the workplace and keep them is dependent on that gender bias being acknowledged, understood, recognised, called out where it exists, and changed at the end of the day.
I've been wanting to do my instructor rating for quite a while, but I've always sort of kept delaying it because I want to get my own experience up, and although I still think I have a lot to learn, I'm very excited. I head off to Brisbane tomorrow and start the training the day after. I really don't know what I'm walking into. I haven't done any pre-reading of my textbook or anything, which makes me a bit nervous because I know the next 3 weeks are going to be really full on.
I feel like that the people that really achieve in our world have had a significant amount of failure, missing out in their life. People that just get it all handed to them probably aren't the ones who are going to really do significant things in our world. I think it strengthens us, if anything. It's disappointing, it's hard, and there's grief involved, and we've got to deal with that, and we've got to process it.
So we're doing a board brief, so on effective controls, so it's lesson 1 in the syllabus. So principles and methods of instruction has been the sort of background for the last couple of days, and just looking at how students learn and instructors and how you can assist. I'm really lucky that my work has been really supportive, so I've blocked out 3 weeks and I'm just kind of working when I can outside of doing flight trainings.
It's good for everyone in the industry, including ourselves, to have more people in the industry. Of course, one of the biggest groups of people that have been told historically, no, you can't do that, is women. And of course, we know that with everything in life, women can perform as well or better than men. So it's perfect. We need to equalize the playing field and make sure that people who want to be in aviation can be in aviation.
Red Cliff traffic, Sting 1651, rolls runway 07 for departure to Beachman. Red Cliff traffic.
Traffic, Romeo to X-ray and RB. Without delay, enter the back track runway 07.
Take off power. Set. Phase, green. Airspeed's alive.
Yep. Local traffic, Deckham 7440, turning base, runway 07, touching go.
Nicely done. Thanks. It's quite simple, actually. Until now. Alright, so do you want to have some practice at your climbing, student?
The biggest thing that's come up the last couple of days is an hour requirement. I thought with my previous experience I didn't need to do 25 hours in command of a RAL's aircraft, which is now looking like that's not the case, and I do need those hours. It's quite disappointing. It's something that I would have addressed in Adelaide before I came up if I'd realised. My fear is basically getting to the end of this 3 weeks and almost through my instructor rating, and then having to pause it all and go and work up some pilot in command time.
So altitude and density altitude, so air molecules, the higher we get, the hotter it gets. I do think there is a pressure, and I don't know if it's a pressure, at least talking within aviation, that we put on ourselves You know, we want to all present ourselves really well so that the next, you know, generation of female pilots that come through don't have that expectation to live up to. You know, they're just by default as good as everybody else.
I think for me, what I've experienced is mainly the public and their perception on women as pilots. Very often that you'll have a customer walk in and you're the pilot for the day for a joy flight, and you're like, oh, I'm Emma, I'm your pilot for the day, and they're sort of go, oh, are you? What about, you know, this guy or this guy? And it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, that I don't let that affect me. I just go, okay, that's my challenge today, to show them what I'm made of. And at the end of the day, they are just like, oh my God, you're amazing. This was so much fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I 100% trust you.
Everything up. Hanging up, flap up.
My girls on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shift the front run.
Fly girls, guns. And there's Victor.
Just coming up between the two of you.
Traffic. Oh my goodness, that is close. Oh, look at that. Got a bit of tan there, right? Yep. Great. All right. Okay, go back to runway, breaking off.
And try to make a board. Make the board. I'll be 7-8 off. So and I'll.
Challenges, just the weather, really. Flies well, got lots of experience, knows and prepares really, really well for the briefing, so she presents really well.
Instructor training is all about training the trainer. What happens is the instructor trainer plays the part of the student and sits in the student seat. It gives the trainee instructor the ability to be able to go through all of their in-flight material so that they can get used to the process of actually working with the student.
All right, so Stephen, you're approaching 1,000 feet here. So once we get to 1,000 feet, I'd like you to lower your nose to that straight and level position.
It's been slow on the grounds that we've had really poor weather, so we've got a lot of the theory out of the way, the exams are out of the way. She's up flying at the moment, so we finally got a break. So hopefully the next few days we'll be able to get quite a bit of flying through it, and we've got about 15 hours of flying to do still, so it's going to be a race to the finish.
It's pretty full on, but I am enjoying it. At the same time, it's starting to feel like a long time since I've been home, so I am getting a little bit homesick at this point. It's good though. I am really enjoying the training, so and really enjoying getting flying time. It's just a weird kind of seesaw that I'm on at the moment.
There's an open day in Harvey Bay. They're looking for flying training, so we thought we'd take everyone we could. We've got just about every aeroplane going up, and we thought we'd do some instructor flight training on the way up and on the way back. We'll push her fairly hard, but it all comes down to the standard at the end. If she makes the standard, she makes the standard.
Well, here we are, Fraser Island.
Yeah. Hello, gorgeous. How's it?
Have you enjoyed your time up here?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's especially this weekend. Like, look at this. Queensland's really turned it on. Gosh, it's the hard life sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a hard life.
I'm so tired. It has been exhausting. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and the guys have been fantastic. I'm just so knackered, and I really wish, it could sort of delay the test by a day just to catch up. And definitely getting the test anxiety. I think it gets easier, but it really doesn't. But fingers crossed tomorrow goes well, and you know, we can only do what we can do, so just gotta go give a Red Dog go and we'll see what happens.
Both Sonia and Alan have their instructor flight tests on. Alan's going up first for her pre-test at 7 o'clock this morning.
And our airspeed's alive. We're looking for 45 knots. And then just smooth back pressure, lift up.
downwind for a stop and go runway.
The pre-test can be quite a daunting experience. It's a learning experience still, but we use it to break the ice and make sure they're ready for the real test. So there's a couple little things that were missed.
Every 500 feet we want to dip our nose. Just have a little look, make sure there is nobody there because that's being blocked in the climb from our vision.
How come we're dipping at 1800 feet?
That was a bit slow.
Ellen's just come back from her pre-test with Paul, and she's a little bit rattled by a couple of the things that Paul's picked up in her training. So Ellen and I are going to sit down at the front of the hangar while Paul's going up and doing Sonia's test, and we're going to do some armchair flying together and just practice a few things.
Redcliffe traffic, Sting 1651, rolls runway 25 for a crosswind departure. Redcliffe traffic. 2, 3 and 4. So power up over 4 seconds, using our rudders to keep us straight. Bring that nose wheel up smoothly. Aircraft accelerate. And there's
Differences with Alan's rating, we were a little bit time pressured to get it done, so a little bit more time would have made a bit of a difference. But she's a hard worker as well, and she's really put in the effort, and it's shown at the end.
Redcliffe traffic, Julie didn't pass us. They're turning down main runway 25 for touch and go. Redcliffe traffic.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Alright, just get you set up there. Alright, settle. Settle. I'll let that one go back.
Go. Yes, here we go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Other
Thank
instructor.
you.